This video is kind of more or less just encapsulating more of my depression. Not that really the world needs to know exactly how I'm feeling, just kind of nice to vent. Maybe I should find like an app that does video logs and something for like journaling, so to speak. I thought about writing stuff down. I don't know. I'm too scatterbrained to journal. I know it'd be useful to journal my feelings and emotions, but I forget. I'm a spaz. I forget. I don't know if it's the ADD or what, but I forget. So I've bought probably a journal every month, and then I forgot that I bought a journal, so I get another journal the next month. So at one point, I think I had like 15 journals just sitting in a drawer, ready to be used, because I kept forgetting that I was buying journals, and I wasn't using the ones that I bought. And then, I'm using a phone to record these videos. Why can't I just journal on my phone? Well, typing out, laziness. It's pure laziness. And I could do video entries. That's part of why I like doing these video log things. Because it is something that I have time to do, and I'm kind of at a point where I could do it without feeling too much like I'm taking away from other stuff. Again, laziness. It's a lot of times, it's like 30 minutes I get to kind of just be by myself. And since I'm driving, I can't use my hands for anything. And not that I don't enjoy music, but sometimes I don't want to listen to music. I want to listen to something else, like maybe somebody speaking, so I'll queue up a video on YouTube or something of some topic. Or I'll do this. I'll do my video log stuff. And I have a lot of fun doing it, but I don't at the same time. That's that depression talking. As I said in a previous video, not that you've watched it, but sometimes I don't get excitement about stuff as much as I used to. So while I do enjoy making these videos, it does feel like a chore, strangely enough. Like, I do feel like in order to do these, it is work. And as you can tell, I'm just kind of talking out my ass. I don't have a script in front of me. I'm just I'm talking to the camera, and that's that, So it is a little bit of a work to do. I have a couple action cameras, various different types, the DJI Micro Mini and then the GoPro Hero. And I've thought about using those for these videos because I have them paired to lapel mics. I don't know, this just feels more natural because a lot of these videos are supposed to be me talking from my heart, and I don't know, if I did these specific videos with a lapel mic and a nice like 4K camera pointing at me, it would kind of take away what I'm trying to get at with these videos, which is just raw, unfiltered commentary on things. Not everybody enjoys that kind of content, and that's fine. Even if only a couple people are really watching these videos, that's perfectly fine. Ew, Cybertruck. Cyberfuck. Autism. So yeah, but depression, I wish I could say everything I've done in the last year has helped. I've made a lot of changes mentally and physically to try to improve my mental health and physical health, because I'm not exactly in shape. So, and I don't want to talk about work too much because I don't want to, you got to separate your personal from your work boundaries, but it isn't exactly sunshine and roses. But I have been trying to remind myself that I am employed. I do have a job. I might not agree with everything that happens, and I might not like the other half that happens, but I'm employed. I'm working. I'm employed, and I'm having a hard enough time looking for another job. I have another coworker. They have years of experience. They are so qualified for everything they've applied for, and they're struggling to find another job. Like, the market for jobs is just so tough right now. So I really feel for people who are unemployed looking for work. Like, I cannot imagine what that's like. Actually, I can because I've been there, but the economy wasn't as bad as it is now when I was unemployed looking for work. So I can only imagine it to some degree. But yeah, man, I feel alone a lot of the time, even though I have people around me, and at work there's people at work, and I have my friends and stuff. It's hard not to feel alone. I don't know if you've ever felt like a third wheel in a five-person group. I had an old friend who used to tell me that sometimes he would feel like that, and I never understood that, but the older I get, sometimes the more I feel like that. And I know I'm not supposed to always be the center of attention, right? Like, everything isn't about me. And that's a hard pill to swallow sometimes. Like, when I'm purposely hanging out with a group of people, like I go to the cafe every Saturday and meet up with my teacher friend, and we have other people that stop by and talk to us. And it's a tough pill to swallow that sometimes, I gotta just accept that I'm not the only horse in the race, and and this isn't to brag about myself or anything. I kind of wish there were people that, I gotta rephrase that, because I do have people that feel this way, but I put in a lot of effort into my friendships and relationships. I try to anyways, and I feel, how the colloquial term for some is the golden retriever type, and sometimes it's referred to in like a relationship. I feel like I'm that way with my friendships and relationships, and it'd be nice to have more, I don't want to say like 1,000 people, but maybe if I had more appreciation like I do with certain relationships. That's not to say all my friendships I want to be like that. I understand everybody's different. It's just, it's hard to explain, man. It's, you ever see like a YouTube sketch or a movie or TV show where the person's like super excited to see that person come home? It'd be nice if I had something like that, don't get me wrong, I do have it. That's why I'm saying it's hard to explain. My best friend, my brother, he is absolutely like that. He is excited to talk to me, and I'm excited to talk to him. And this isn't to diss on him in any way, but he does live halfway across the country from me. I've known him 20 years, and we've always lived separate, so it's like, it's hard, because I don't get to hang out with him, I don't get, not in person anyway. So it can be really hard sometimes. So while he is the epitome of like golden retriever best friend, it's all in person, and I kind of wish I had that in person, which is nobody's fault either. I don't know how much I can really say, like, it's hard to explain. I'm just kind of venting more than anything. and I believe I told my therapist this before. Just feels like I'm alone a lot. And I have a lot of friends, but we're all adults now, and they have their own things to do. They have their own jobs, and I don't blame them for it. One of my friends just started up this semester for teaching, so they're busy quite a bit. I haven't even heard from them all week. And I'm not used to that with this friend, and that's not to diss them in any way. I'm just not used to it. I hear from them usually once or twice a week, more frequently than this. And I know it's the first week back at school, and I just have to accept that, but it's tough. Like I said, it's tough. It's hard to accept sometimes. And it's not like I'm not busy. I work all week too, Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And then sometimes I'm doing stuff after work. Like I've been trying to go back to the gym lately, and if my one coworker is in town, we have what's called floaters at my job, and if one of them that I really like hanging out with is in town floating at our location, he'll go to the gym with me, and we'll be there for like 2 or 3 hours at a time. But it's more of a symbiotic thing than anything, We're not exactly like chatting each other up every night or anything, and it is what it is. He's a cool guy and he's fun to hang around, but I don't. Our friendships mean different things to each other, and that's fine. It's just something I have to accept. It's cool, it is what it is. But even keeping myself busy sometimes, it sinks in, and I don't know if that's just purely the depression talking, or if part of that is just something chemical, or if I really am dealing with something. I don't know. But loneliness is a really big thing. It's a really big issue too right now. I don't know if you've heard of this thing called the loneliness epidemic, but it is very real. And people get taken advantage of with this too, because I'm for some reason back on dating sites, even though I know they're incredibly toxic, incredibly depressing. I figured I'd give it a shot again. I've worked on myself a lot. I feel like I'm in a spot where I'm capable of dating again. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give them another shot, even though I probably shouldn't have. And it seems the only people I've matched with are on Tinder, of all things, and they're using that passport feature. So they're not even around me. It's just my luck, right? Like here I am trying to meet people that are near me, so I actually have people I can interact with physically, and they all happen to be thousands of miles away. So they're one of two things. They're A, either a scammer, or B, something else. A lot of times they're mostly scammers. I've dealt with them in the past when I've been on dating sites before. And that's not to say I don't make mistakes that cause me to be lonely either. I've definitely made my share of mistakes, lots of them. Some of the stuff, that's why I'm working on it in therapy. I was really naive once in 2016. Yeah. 2016, I had a really good relationship with somebody. Really good relationship. It was long distance, but not as long as you think. They lived about 8 hours away from me, and it's not that I didn't know them beforehand either. We actually went to high school together. They just happened to go to college 8 hours away, so dating was tough. And I don't know if it was just naivety or if people got in my brain or what. I eventually started thinking that it was too tough to be in a long distance relationship. And it's not that that isn't true. Being in a long distance anything is tough. Like I said, my best friend lives like 3,000 miles from me. It's hard. We get to hang out, we talk every day, and we hang out on Sunday through Discord, but I would love to just actually go do things with him, you know? Like, I like hiking. It'd be cool to take my best friend hiking, you know? So it's tough. But I got it in my head somehow that it wasn't going to work, and we broke up. And that necessarily wasn't what hurt the relationship so much. Or I mean, like, the more platonic relationship side of things, because I'm friends with everybody I've ever dated. Like, it might not work out as a relationship, but we're still friends. Like, I'm that kind of person where if I was friends with you and we can make it work, then I'm not going to lose my friendship just because it didn't work out between the two of us, you know? And that's been pretty successful. I have like 100% success rate with that. Granted, there's only a few people I've ever dated that have been my friends, but the success rate on that's pretty good. So we're still good friends. What I did wrong in this relationship, platonically speaking, is we were together for almost a year. We broke up. I think we both said it was mutual, but it was just me being naive. And it was only like a month or two when I got with somebody else. And I think what really made that upsetting to this person that was once my friend is the fact that, yes, I was talking to this other person before I broke up with her. No, she didn't have anything to do with the breakup, but I can see, now that I've had time to reflect and I've had hindsight, how easily somebody could be hurt by that. And I still feel guilty for that. Like, this was a long time ago now. All parties are long past it. This other person, you know, she's married now, so, like, it's mistakes we make. And I was really naive. I did something really stupid and I lost a good friend for it. And I don't know if it's depression or what, but I still think about that. It still guilts me, what I did. And I know I'm wearing sunglasses, so you can't really see like my eyes or anything, but you make mistakes in life. Not all of them are comebackable, and not in the sense like you can never get forgiven, what have you. But some mistakes you make are just, that's it. You made that mistake, that person's now out of your life. And I'll forever feel bad about that, because I really liked this person as a friend, you know, because they were there for me when I needed them most. They were a really good friend, and I ruined it. It was me. I can't blame anyone but myself. And I've accepted that, but it's been hard to get over that mistake. And that's one thing I advocate for in these videos is you're gonna make mistakes. You are absolutely gonna make mistakes in life. If you want to sit there and try to say you've never made a mistake, I don't believe you. unless you were just born, there is zero chance you've never made a mistake in your life. But the thing I advocate for with that is you can learn from it. You can learn from other people's mistakes. Many of the reasons I don't do drugs and I'm not an alcoholic or anything is because I've had people around me that I've been able to learn from their mistakes. Personally impacted by these people. So I've been able to use that as a crutch to learn from that mistake. And, sometimes the mistakes you make are really big mistakes. I've made a couple of those too. And this isn't me being sappy. We're like, oh my God, forgive me. Like, no, that's why I'm in therapy, dude. I'm trying to become the best version of myself. Embrace that I've done wrong. Accept that I can move on. Try to be somebody better than I've been. Because when I was in high school, I can understand why people didn't want to hang out with me. I was very much conservatively Christian. Like, I was far right in high school. I was one of those people who wanted a very white society with pure Christian ideology and what have you. I was one of those people. And I made a lot of mistakes because of it. I also made a lot of mistakes because of my upbringing. So that's not something I could change, right? It happened. And I can only blame my upbringing so much. It was still me that performed the actions. It was still me that said and did the things I did. The best I could do at this point is just learn from it, try to become a better person, make amends to those I can. And it is hard. Because like I said, sometimes you can never repair certain relationships. And it's tough to get over sometimes. And not in the sense of like, oh my God, I miss the relationship, the intimate part of it. No, that's come and gone. But the friendships, Like I had a friend that I broke off friendship with a couple years back. They just weren't putting any effort into it, but constantly relying on me for things. And I'm like, this is a very one-sided friendship, But just because I ended that friendship doesn't mean I don't miss it. It just wasn't healthy for me, I don't know. Therapy's awesome because he has somebody that's not going to judge you. But sometimes I still feel guilt for things, even though I've been told 1,000 times over that, it's done. The past is the past. It's still hard not to feel guilty for things. And again, I don't know if that comes from my depression or what. But I also don't know, to come back to like the original point of this video, if that's what contributes to my loneliness. I told my therapist outright, I'm like, do you think a lot of my depression is because of the stuff I have done and this is like my punishment for it? They don't tend to think so. And they're probably right, but it's hard not to see it that way, It's hard not to see what I'm dealing with as punishment for what I've done. But I'm trying. I'm really trying to better myself, to do better, to do the right thing. Nobody's perfect. You're gonna make mistakes, even if you have bettered yourself. I try not to make them as much. I try to be more cognizant of what I'm doing and what I'm saying and thinking and feeling. Because I don't want to make mistakes. I'm still capable of it. It's still going to happen. But if I can avoid making them, I want to try to avoid making them. another thing I gotta work on in therapy is I can't seem to cry. Not that I'm trying to cry for this video, but I have noticed that the last couple months I'm just not capable of crying. I want to let it out, you know, I just want to have a good cry, and I haven't seemed to have been able to do that in a while. Yeah. That's all I really have to say.